Hello, everyone, and welcome to episode 16 of the AFK Hour Podcast. I'm your host, jlucio, and today we have NABjr
What's up?
and FireSplash21.
What do you do, baby?
Okay, so we're still trying out this new format, and I feel like last podcast went pretty well. I enjoyed it. The format was pretty interesting. We had positive feedback. What do you think, Nick?
Yeah, I think it was good. I mean, I listened to it. I think it's different, but I think, also it just takes a while to adapt and have people. I feel like people talked more that time. Marco said he liked it more because I felt like people were talking more and less opinionated. Though to me, every answer to a question is an opinion, so it's the same thing. But I think more people talked, so I think that was good.
How about you, Jose? Have you listened to the new podcast?
I did, and I did notice that everyone is a little bit more talkative, which I thought was really good, because if everyone brings their own topic, then obviously they're going to be more talkative in that aspect instead of other ones if they're not really too informative about it. At the end of the day, I think we all should just be more talkative and more in our element, and so bringing those topics are actually...
Well, if anyone out there has any constructive criticism or wants to say anything, feel free to leave a comment or, I don't know, just like it, subscribe, and make sure to follow our other stuff. So we're going to kick things off with Nick. So what do you bring this week to the class, Nick?
Yeah, so this week I brought so the day of recording was Friday the 11th. Yesterday was Thursday. And the Texans versus the Chiefs played. And so with that in mind, I watched most of the game, and I was thinking, what do y'all think is gonna happen in football season? Is it gonna last the whole season, or will players get sick and season won't stop, or do you think teams will lose a lot of their strong players and it will derail things, or the sickness or COVID won't affect anybody? It's just because also another thing to keep in mind is that, at least if I heard this correctly, is that yesterday they played in a stadium that had some fans, but most of the stadiums won't have people there, and so I think that's also a different way of playing for the players, because I feel like they also get hype from the crowd, right? And so you take away the crowd, so you don't have, at least I don't think you'll have as much hype. You still have all the I forget what the right term is, but the adrenaline you get from hitting each other, because I'm sure that comes right as you're playing. But yeah, I guess to start off, for me, I feel like it could happen that everybody does get sick, but supposedly I think Ricky told me that every week or the week before, I don't know if it's the week before or the week of the game, they check them to see if they're sick or not, and depending on that they play or not. But I feel like with everything that's going on and how it works, they could taste negative and then end up being positive and play and then get everybody sick. Of course, this is the first game we've had this past week, so we don't know yet, and to be honest, I don't really keep up too much, so I don't know how many weeks this even lasts, to be honest. But it'll start off with that note.
I mean, honestly, I think it is going to finish out, because, you look at the NBA. Obviously, I think out of all of us here, I'm the one that knows the sports the most. I watch baseball, basketball, and now football, which I'm super excited about, because I got to get that fantasy league championship going. But I think it will finish out. You look at the NBA, they really didn't have much cases. I think if anything, maybe only 2 or 3 positive cases. And if anything, they do have really, really strong restrictions. Like if they leave, they have to quarantine themselves. I think it's for 5 if not 4 days, and then they're on to play. But everyone gets tested daily, and really, they haven't even stopped it. They did stop it on one occasion, but that's because, outside world problems started to occur in a more, focal point. But for baseball, there has been teams that had COVID, and they had to postpone those games. They didn't cancel the season. It was on the brink. Everyone kept talking about how it was on brink of canceling, but at the end of the day, they didn't cancel it. They postponed the games, and they're still playing. Now, I don't know how that's going to work out into next season type of thing, or how the playoffs will work for baseball. But I mean, if they're able to postpone the games, and they have around 82 games they have to play, I think. Don't quote me, I'm not too sure. Then I'm more than sure for football they'll go ahead and finish the season. Now, I don't know how it's going to work if someone gets COVID, and then it go ahead and gets other people COVID as well. But I would assume they would postpone the game. I don't know how that would affect fantasy leagues, because that's a big rippies, especially if you have star players in that specific team. Because boy, that's a big old rippy for you if for example, you have like Tyreek Hill on your team and he ends up getting it, which hopefully he doesn't. You just have to adjust. But I feel like it will finish. It just matters if it's going to finish on time, or if it's going to get prolonged into later down the line that works than we expect, because we usually expect the season to end by February. Who knows if it even ends in February, if it'll get pushed into March or even April.
Okay, so I feel like when you're comparing the NFL to the NBA, I feel like that's I think you should do that, because the NBA had the bubble, right? So the bubble is essentially, I don't know, for those of you guys that don't know, is that all the NBA players, all the teams, they all went to Florida, and all the teams stayed in a location in Orlando, like, I don't know, like Disney World or some shit. I don't know what the fuck they stayed, but all the team were secluded there, and in order to get into the bubble, you had to be tested. And if people did get tested, then they would be quarantined in the bubble itself. And then once, like after 2 weeks of quarantine, they're allowed to go back to like the players. And so like these teams were secluded from their families, their fans, their actual stadiums, their homes. So it's completely different. I feel like it's a better case that you're comparing it to the MLB baseball, because like those teams didn't have a bubble, and well, teams, as I said, teams did get sick, and then they had to postpone games. So yeah, the worst case scenario would be that the entire team gets sick, and then I think that's the only way the team, like the whole league, would get canceled. I don't know whether it get postponed. I think it would rather get canceled than postponed. I also feel like if one person from the team gets sick, there's a lot more people on an NFL team than baseball and basketball, because they have the players. It's like a 52-man roster, and then all the staff, the employees, all that stuff. So there's a lot more people, and a lot of people's more health to be involved. And I don't know, like if shit does hit the fan, which I'm pretty sure it will eventually, because I mean, let's be honest, these players are like in their mid-20s, early 20s. They're gonna be reckless. They're gonna party after a win. They're gonna get sick, right?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's gonna be really hard and very difficult for these players to not get sick.
Though, on that note, like you had said before this, when I was watching, I don't know if it's every player. I don't know if it's just the players or the staff or like the people on the field. They all got like some weird bracelet that is supposed to track where they are, and I guess like this will help. So in the future, like they test positive in some way, they can go back and be like, okay, this guy was around this area that had like this other 30 people around it, and I have to tell these other 30 people, and then these 30 people were on this other person that's. So like they can do all the back tracing. So I think that's helpful and a bit different. Do you know if that was only the people on the field, or is that people that also went inside the stadium? I don't know if they talked about that.
I think how it works is most of the staff and also like GMs and coaches and stuff like that are gonna have it on during the game and also out of the game. For players, I think it's more so once they leave the game, because you're not gonna have it on while you're in play, because obviously you get tackled, and obviously that device gets damaged and rip the money. I think it's more so for the coaches and for the staff, and then once the players finish playing or even enter the stadium or leave the stadium is when they'll have it on. I'm not too sure how it's gonna work if it's like, you have to wear it the entire season. I think it's more so when it's game day and you enter the arena or you're landing in the area that you're gonna play in, and you go ahead and put it on, because it's a fascinating thing to think about. Like, they're monitoring all these players and coaches and people, and you could see like, oh, this guy's being responsible. Why is he going over here in like, a club or a bar type of thing? But I more so think it's just for game day type of purposes. And once it just finishes, because I don't think they're gonna make all these people wear the bracelet throughout the season, like entirety of the season, for how many days it is. I'm pretty sure it's only for the game days, which is either Sunday, Monday, or Thursday. I don't know if they're doing Saturday night football, but I'm pretty sure it's only for those days.
So, in my opinion, the most responsible thing to do is to not have the audience there, right? So that's obviously the most responsible thing. But the second best thing is actually putting like there are RFID chips. Like basically, they follow you and they make sure if you're in contact with someone that has COVID, then they'll tell you. It's like, yeah. So all audience, all people that entered the stadiums are required to have that. But at the same time, if people are having such problems with wearing masks, what makes you think that the audience would want to have this chip on their arm? You get me? So, like, if anything, I think it's only limited to staff and players. And like Jose said, that it's only, like, it's not when they're in play, because obviously they could tackle and stuff like that. But yeah, another thing, Arrowhead, the stadium for Kansas City, there's only 2 stadiums that allows the audience to go watch their team. It's Arrowhead and another one. I forgot which one it was. I think it might have been New Orleans, but don't quote me on that. But only 20% of capacity is allowed to be inside the stadium, which is interesting. But at the same time, I'm just like, man, no point. Like, why? Like, just don't do it. Don't have the stadium. I mean, MLB doesn't have it. NBA doesn't have it. Like, they do? Well, it's very limited, right?
I mean, for NBA, they don't have fans in particular, but they have their family now.
Oh, okay.
So each person is allowed to bring someone close to them, whether it be family or like a girlfriend, fiance, wife type of thing, in the playoffs. And obviously, once they get eliminated, then obviously it's less people in the bubble. For the bracelet, it's not to the fans; it's only for players and staff and members, because the NFL will not, produce all these bracelets just for anyone and everyone that enters the stadium. It would just be more so those employed by the NFL. Part of the NFL, there you go. That'd be a better term to use. But yeah, it's only 2 stadiums that are using fans. I know it's Arrowhead. I don't know the other one, honestly. I don't know. They didn't really say. If they did, I didn't pay attention. But I know for the rest of the teams, they're trying to test it out and see how the first 2 weeks go. They're going to do the first 2 weeks without fans, and after that, they'll give an update to see if it's only 20% capacity or, if they're going to continue with no fans. At the end of the day, I'm pretty sure they're going to want fans to come just because that money, at the end of the day, fans is what brings money to owners and to, the NFL in general. Yeah, you have those TV views going up, but still, having fans in attendance, it's what brings in the money. And I know there'll be huge ramifications for the salary cap for the NFL, but I'm getting too much into detail.
I mean, it's also like the cost for having the place running, right? Like, I don't know. I guess my question, like, those games that already ran, like, I don't know, is the basketball only in one court, or is it multiple courts?
So in the very beginning, it was multiple courts because you had teams practicing. But when it came to game day, it was only used in one court, and they had different times. So like, some people would play like 8 p.m. and the game would finish at 11 p.m. Excuse me. But it was only 2 teams playing per day. It wasn't more than 2 teams. So you had one team play at a specific time, and then after an hour, like I think 2 if not an hour after the second game would go ahead and commence. But they only used one court. They didn't have like different areas. They're playing in just Orlando. They don't have different locations, and they only have one specific court for these teams. But I know there is a variety of courts, but just for practice purposes.
The NFL is going to be different courts, right? Or different fields?
Yeah, they travel to the actual stadium and then they play there. So, like, in regards to the audience, I know that, especially in the Seattle Seahawks, like, if the audience is considered the 12th man, and like that 12 man is basically a term given to fans that are really loud, because sound is a factor in the NFL. Like, people ice the kicker, and icing is basically you call timeout right before they're gonna kick the ball into the goalpost, and the fans are just cheering like, "Ooh yeah, missed the ball," right? Yeah. And then obviously the kicker chokes and then they miss, right? That happened to Chicago quite often. Actually.
Yeah, Chicago. Repeats.
Yeah. So yeah, I feel like it's gonna be very interesting this coming up season. I wanted to see the stadium empty. I wanted to see the first game, like how it would be. Like, it brings like a new element to the game because you actually hear the audibles, the people screaming and like calling each other out. And then if it gets passionate, like people start, like tensions they flare up and people start cussing each other out and get angry and stuff like that. So it would be really interesting. And also like it would also allow the quarterback to have like they'll be able to hear the people coming, the less sacks, or maybe like even players, regular like receivers and stuff like that. So like with the audience, with the fans screaming, obviously they couldn't hear that. That's why they call him the 12th man. And like people or things that you would occasionally hear if no one was there, it'll be different now.
Yeah, and I feel like also because there's gonna be less people, like you can hear things more like you did in this past game. I don't know if it was a full stadium, if everybody would have been, like you said, I think when they had the moment of unity, people were booing and stuff. And so I don't know if that would have been like the same if everybody was there, like even louder, or it would have been like less because more people would have been respectful. Because it's kind of like the what is it called? Like everybody gets on the bandwagon. So like if there's thousands and thousands of people and they're not doing it, then other people are less like prone to doing it. But if everybody else is doing it, then everybody will start doing it.
Yeah, I think I honestly think obviously it will be a difference in volume wise, but for only being, I think it was 9,000 people there, you could still hear the crowd pretty decently, not gonna lie. And they hold, I think, 32,000 if I'm not mistaken, maybe more. And you're still able to hear the crowd. The only big difference is you can specifically hear what they say now. Like I remember someone cussed and they had to censor it already off the bat. I'm just like, oh, here we go. We're gonna hear some words this time. I mean, I know before the whole COVID thing, you could still hear players cuss and stuff like that, especially because they have like this program where they mic up the player.
Yeah.
I mean, you can hear what they say, but after the game. But regardless, I think we're going to hear more of the crowd, what they say, and even sometimes the players in a more clear fashion that even, trying to mute it is not going to help. Like, we're just going to hear like, oh, well, he cussed already. But I feel like the fans there, the volume, like sound-wise, I mean, you can still hear them pretty decently. Not like, it's pretty good for just being 9,000. So the crowd volume, I think it won't be that effective for the players because they should be used to it. Because I know in practice they play loud music to, cope with the sound of the crowd, especially in like the domes, because it's in a dome, the sound is secluded there. But we'll see how the season goes. It's just the first 2 weeks, only 2 stadiums have crowds, the other 2 don't. So this Sunday we'll see how no crowd truly is, because Arrowhead Stadium did have a crowd, but this Sunday we're gonna see how actually no crowd is, and let's see how many players cuss this Sunday.
But it's also, do you think it really affects the morale, or do you think for the players?
It does, because basically your home field advantage just goes bye-bye. Some players feed off of the crowd to pump them up, especially if, it's their home team, like they're at home, they feel more comfortable, they play with that extra fire in them. That's just for some players. I wouldn't really know how the other ones would feel. But more so, it'd just be more weird for the players to be like, well, it's just like we're playing kind of rugby type of thing where like no one else is watching us. But I feel like we'll see how players will adjust during the first 2 weeks of the season. I feel like there's going to be a lot less scoring, just because if you can hear the quarterback's audibles, and you can also hear the defensive linemen's and or linebackers, talk about different kinds of schemes and stuff like that, it could adjust a couple of things. We could see some low-scoring games. If not, we could see a shootout happen. But I'm excited. I'm just glad football's back. Got this fantasy league going. Hopefully, I'm back to back champ this year.
So yeah, like I feel like this season might be even like some players or some games might even get psychological, because like let's say there's some really big dude, or let's say you're just sacking the quarterback, you're talking mad shit. They're gonna be able to hear you, and so like I'm going for you, quarterback, and they're like, oh fuck, I don't want to get. So he gets really psyched out and stuff like that. And with the audience, obviously, you could still like be like doing like hand gestures, but if you hear someone like saying threatening you, it's different. You get me?
Yeah.
So if you have a weak will, I feel like some players will get psyched out and they're going to play a lot worse than they normally would. And maybe it'll be some people might not even be, they'll be prone to it. They don't care. But who knows? It's gonna be a very interesting season, definitely.
And I guess one of the things, like in those games, has there been any games where like I said, some teams were they all got sick, but like where both teams that played got sick, like one infected the other team? Because I mean, I don't know. I guess in those, like football is a very physical sport, even though they have helmets and everything. So like you're touching each other like 24/7. I think baseball is not as much. Basketball, a little bit. I don't know.
Basketball is very contact heavy.
Yeah.
Like, but in that one, like they said, there was a bubble, so I don't know if you can't even compare it.
Yeah, you can't compare basketball with the NFL because there's a bubble. But the MLB, baseball, I'm not sure. I don't consider it very contact heavy. Would you consider it?
No, for baseball, it's not really contact heavy, but you do know one thing that is shared about the MLB and NFL. Obviously, the away team are always going to share the same lockers. So if I'm playing in the AT&T Stadium, which is the Cowboys' home field, the Cowboys are obviously going to have their own locker rooms. But the team that's traveling, whether it be like Falcons or the Saints that are visiting them to play them, those teams are going to share the same locker room. And if the team gets COVID, then obviously they have to shut down the stadium and disinfect everything. I'm assuming they would have to postpone the game. I worked with the MLB with the outbreaks. It happened with the St. Louis Cardinals and the Miami. I can't believe it. I know baseball. Marlins, Miami Marlins. They had to shut down for I think a week and a half. So the teams that played the Marlins and the Cardinals, they had to get postponed. So that stadium was not used, and those teams were not allowed to travel. So Marlins and Cardinals were not playing for at least a week and a half, and then the other teams that were scheduled to play them had to postpone the series, just because what they call the dugouts are shared by traveling teams, and that also get disinfected. Just because it's not a contact-heavy sport doesn't mean benches, lockers, or restrooms are not shared among different teams when they come and visit the home team. So I think MLB is a lot closer to the NFL in the relation that they have lockers that they have to kind of go through, especially with visitors. Home team has the same locker rooms that they always use, but regardless, you have the traveling team that uses those locker rooms that were previously used by another team that traveled to play the team that is the home team. But we'll see how things go. I feel like the precaution is very good for the NFL at the moment. But we'll see how things go down the line.
Let's see how my homie does.
My homies.
So, would anyone else like to add anything to the football topic? Okay. The next topic we're going to be talking about is from Jose. What do you bring to the class, Jose?
So today I bought some lighter perspective on what's going on in this pandemic right now. Yes, a lot of us are still locked in homes right now. Slowly but surely, the economy is going back to where everyone's trying to go back to work. Some people are still working from home. What I wanted to bring light into this is what has the lockdown done for you in a positive way. I know for me, it's made me be more productive, honestly. I'm more productive at work. I still work. And now, being stuck at home and not going out to go eat at Applebee's, which is a restaurant in Texas. I don't know if anywhere else in the world has Applebee's. Or Whataburger inside the restaurants. It's made me stay at home more. It's made me cook more and actually be strict with my diet, which is pretty good. To be more productive in general, what I do with everything. That's why I'm in SavePoint now. Beforehand, obviously, I love gaming, but I feel like, hey, if I'm stuck at home, might as well get productive with the amount of gaming I do, and showcase it to everyone and see how dumb I could be in front of a camera, and for how long. And it's also made me be more creative when it comes to, doing not only cooking here, but also, with my workouts and my running routine. Because I know one thing that hit is the gyms were closed and a lot of people were like slacking on their gains and their cardio and stuff like that. But for me personally, in a positive way, the pandemic has made me be more productive in what I do with my daily life and not waste any single second. Because hopefully once this goes away, obviously our lives will hopefully go back to normal. And the temptation of to go out with friends again and to go drink and all that stuff is going to be there. And you might lose that little bit of productivity that you had in your life. So for me, in a positive way, it just made me be more productive in my life, whether it be whatever I'm trying to do for my career, what I'm ever doing with SavePoint, or what I'm doing right now with my life and with my personal life, with my girlfriend and with my family as well.
I guess for me, I guess the most productive thing I've done in during the lockdown is SavePoint. Yeah, like if it wasn't for the lockdown or all this COVID, I wouldn't even have considered retrying this at this current time. And I knew everyone else had a lot more time on their hands, so I invited the people I trusted the most, and I know that I could work productively with. And this is I feel like we're having a good time, even though most of us are still working and we're trying to stay safe and whatnot. But in the end of the day, we're still pumping out them videos and on the grind for the Twitch partnership.
Yeah, I think for me it's pretty much like George said. I mean, I guess I was like doing this, like learning about how to do a podcast or doing one and the steps that go through it. I've been also like doing some videos, like more video editing, Illustrator, things like that, and pretty much just more gaming. I feel like that's pretty much what it's been for me. I mean, I guess also besides SavePoint, like I am working on starting my own business with a coworker, with a friend, sorry, a coworker. And so we're working on raising money and stuff. So I'm learning through that too. And I guess this gave me that opportunity. Depends how you think about it, whether it's positive or not. I'm definitely learning a lot of different things. But yeah, I feel like that's probably positive things for me. I feel like honestly I was more productive before. So in terms of productivity, I would say that for myself.
Because I knew that I wanted to restart. I wanted to do this, but I never had the time because I was just constantly going to work and school and whatnot. But then since obviously the lockdown happened and we had more time, I knew that this might be a good opportunity to restart the iNation, our initial thing that we did 8 years ago. So I don't know, I feel like this might, even though it's very negative, this has been a horrible year for a lot of people, and even including us, a lot of people here in SavePoint. We still were able to find something to stay productive and not lose our heads.
Yeah, honestly, for me, what really changed because of this whole quarantine was obviously, learning how to do a long distance relationship. At this point, I'm gonna bring a little bit more personal topic from my life. Beforehand, it was just me and my girlfriend and her sister living together. But things happened, and then the quarantine happened, and I had to make a decision whether I had to go back to my hometown of Laredo, or find a different place in San Antonio. And at the end of the day, that's why I'm here rooming with jlucio, the man, the myth himself, right over here. But because of that, it's made me be more on top of myself, because at the end of the day, I don't want to really disappoint my girlfriend. She's the love of my life, and I do a lot of these things now, not for me, but mainly for her. Beforehand, when it was just me and her sister, I really wasn't productive, and and she can vouch for that. I really wasn't productive. The only thing I could just say is just work and wash dishes. Basically, that's the only thing I was productive with. But that's one major impact that happened. It's a long distance relationship now, but we love each other a lot, and I know we could get through with it. But because of that, I'm more, productive in everything that I do, and I make sure that anything I do is always in considering her, because at the end of the day, whatever I'm doing, whether it be in SavePoint or just working to get money, to save money, is for not only my future, but her future as well, because at the end of the day, I plan on marrying this woman. And if she's going to listen to this in the future, hi, I love you.
Hey.
Let's see. Aside from that, the quarantine has done some things for us in the gaming world. I'll bring this up. I honestly did not expect for this quarantine to give us such a blessing in the matter of the Xbox console coming out to being $299.
Wait, really?
And $399. Yes, bro. This could have been a topic on its own, but it's because I'm the only one that really does console gaming. Everyone here is more PC master race. But for me, I was super excited when I saw that the price of the original new Xbox was $399 and the new slimmed down version is $299. Not last year, whenever the other gens came out, it was at $699. So honestly, I'm pretty sure because of this quarantine, it did affect gaming in a huge way. I'm pretty sure a lot of businesses shut down and stuff like that. Maybe, I'm not too sure, because gaming is still a platform on its own, and you don't really need a game person and in public. You could just do it from home, hence why YouTube, Twitch, and all those streaming platforms are there just to play games. Everyone can watch from there. But honestly, this quarantine thing did hit the next gen consoles, and boy oh boy, $399 is a way better price than the predicted $799 price. And I'm hyped for that, honestly. I don't own a PC. I do all the PC gaming on Lucio's PC right here. But I'm hyped, bro. That saves me a good $400 off of that. We still haven't heard from Sony on their console price, but from Microsoft, hey, that's a big dub for us Microsoft fans. We don't have to spend that much. And another thing is the Xbox Pass is free. I think not free, but like it comes with a certain amount of months. And continuing from that, apparently, and I'm not too sure. I just saw this on Twitter. I am not too sure. I need to do more research on it. But they're gonna change it to do a monthly thing, where instead of outright paying the entire thing, you can do monthly payments on the console itself, like how you do with like any phone companies. Like for Verizon, if you don't want to outright buy the entire iPhone, which costs like $1,000 if not $899, you do monthly payments on top of your cellular plan until the phone's paid off. So if that is true, I honestly think you could expect more people going to the Xbox side now because of this drastic change in price. I don't know, what do you guys think? What do you guys think, first of all, on like quarantine affecting gaming in general?
Well, what if now listen clearly. What if PlayStation decides to give out their consoles for free?
Okay, that's not gonna happen. I don't know what you were thinking of. I don't know. I don't think
Sony gave them for free, everybody would grab them.
Yeah, I'm telling you this right now. If Sony would come out and say, "We're giving you a free console," I will shave my head. I'm sorry, babe, but if this is true, I'm gonna have to shave my head.
That ain't happening, bro.
Well, you heard it here first. Now we have to contact Sony.
Oh my.
Nah, Sony wouldn't do that. They're in for it. They need money, just like all the companies. And they're not. I don't think they have anything like the Game Pass yet. They have their thing, but you get like free games every month. But the Game Pass is supposed to be more of a, you can play on your console or on your PC, even though they just doubled the price for PC monthly fee. And they did just add the EA games into it, so that's why some people are saying that it's kind of evens out, so now you get all the EA games for free as part of the Game Pass as well. And so that was apparently $4.99, and so that's pretty much what they added, I think, on top of the whatever the cost was for the Game Pass already. They just added that on top for, I don't know if it's just for PC, like PC alone, or it's for Xbox as well. And so they did that, but generally speaking, I think the situation we're currently having, the quarantine, I think has been affecting gaming in a really good way, in terms of like it's making people like game potentially more. It's like I'm pretty sure. I mean, I don't really look at. I don't know if Twitch like puts out stats or things. I'm pretty sure there's like a lot more streamers on Twitch. There's probably more YouTubers. Like that's why all the freaking webcams and mics are all sold out. Like those companies are also making more money than webcams and Logitech. All the computer companies are all making more money too. But everybody's like doing a lot more gaming, a lot heavier more gaming. And so in terms of the industry as a whole, I think it's like spiking a lot more because more people are supposed to stay at home. And like, what do you do at home? You still want to play with your friends. What's the other avenue of playing with your friends? Games. Different types of games. Whether it be playing through consoles.
Pornhub.
Oh, yes, of course. To some extent.
Okay, you play with friends on Pornhub, bro?
All
right.
right, you can.
No, sir. No.
Oh my God.
We got a wise guy over here, trying to think outside the box, but that box is a little no.
I believe in a world where PlayStation's free and Pornhub you could play with your friends.
Oh my
No. I don't know what kind of world you want to live in or imagining, but I like the first part, not the second part. That second part's a little too scary for me, bro.
I agree with Nick that quarantine has affected the gaming industry as a whole positively. A lot of people are playing a lot more, the community as well. People are interacting, and we were able to actually, a huge controversy during the summer happened, and I'm not sure if it was gonna happen, but I feel like all the tension with COVID and all this stuff uprooted all the controversy. And the controversy I'm obviously talking about is like the pedophilia and like grooming of underage people, or even just grooming of women in the gaming industry and stuff like that. So I feel like this was a positive thing that obviously it's not a positive thing that happened, but it's a positive thing that we're able to address it, and or companies are addressing it and doing the right steps to fix it. Another thing is that right now all the games that are coming out, it's because these games are already done in development, right? So like they're already finished programming, they're already programmed, they're already in the final stages and stuff like that. So COVID hit them just at the right time, where they're just like, okay, well, we released the games, and yeah, that's all they have to do. And but the ones that are like iffy are the ones that are still in production. Obviously, the ones that are still in productions, the teams will have to work separately, and some team members don't have the equipment they have in the office. So like, I don't know, the accommodations that they had to do with the company, the possibility would be endless, could be endless. But regardless of the accommodation or what they did, all the productions for games coming out in next year or the following year, within the next 5 years, I would say, they're gonna be very stagnant. There's not gonna be that many coming out because everything got postponed. I mean, look at Cyberpunk. That got postponed, and that was already at the very end of its development stage. So, I don't know. There's a lot of things.
I don't know, but I will say this though, even though it's right now currently Microsoft and Sony going on a battle, I am a little curious to see how Nintendo is going to respond. Just because when this did hit, manufacturers, the manufacturement of the Switch was stopped. About 2 months where, the Switch was not being produced anymore, and everyone was out there looking for Switches, but, they weren't being made anymore. So you have these next gen consoles coming out already. Well, set to come out this Christmas. We're going to see if, we're going to continue with the Switch on the Nintendo side, or if, something new from them is going to come out, and see how that goes.
Wait, that's also true. Like, do you think production will be enough for PlayStation and Xbox, the new consoles?
I mean, that's the thing. That's why we have to, revisit this topic down the line and see how that will come out to be. Because again, Microsoft was the first one to announce the prices and stuff. Sony has yet to give a response, and all eyes are on them right now. So it is going to be an interesting topic down the line to see how things are going down in the Microsoft world and in the Sony world.
But in terms of manufacturing, like most of them happen in like Asia, right? Like China or Japan or places like that. That's where most of like those electronics get produced, don't they?
For the most part, yes.
Yeah.
And those places are handling COVID a lot better than we are. I think they're almost back to normal living compared to like us. So in terms of them actually accommodating for all like the creating of the electronics, I think that's there now.
Well, the thing is that a lot of countries, I'm not sure if this is in Asian countries, but I know a lot of European countries are also following the footsteps of America, where they're protesting masks. They go out to the boulevards and stuff like that, like town streets, and they just burn their masks, calling for politicians to step down. So I don't think we're out of the woods yet. Epidemiologists all say that it's gonna get a lot worse. Like, this is just the stage one. It's gonna get a lot worse in the winter or in fall. Because I mean, at the very beginning, people just said that it was gonna die from the heat, and obviously that wasn't the case. So this virus it's a virus. It's living, so it's evolving. It's changing. So who knows what's gonna happen? And I know that there's a vaccine manufacturer actually had to stop testings because one of their test subjects got sick with another disease. So they don't know whether if it was because of the mutation, there was a mutation string, or it was the vaccines themselves. So after hearing that, I'm just like, fuck, we're gonna be here. We're gonna bunker down for another year or so. Like, it's gonna, from what the experts are saying, and other scientists, they're saying that it's gonna get a lot worse.
Yeah, I mean, since my major is biology, I'm a little more knowledgeable about this. I know the timetable generally to make a vaccine is 9 to 12 months. So right now we're hitting almost the 10th month mark. And there has been word that vaccines are being made and stuff like that. But at the end of the day, if mutations happen, this thing's going to get prolonged. It not only affects obviously the gaming industry, but it just affects everyone in general, you know? But, you know, as long as we listen to not only our people leaders, which is obviously not the best people leaders in the world, but I think if you have the common sense of just wearing your mask, staying indoors, and not going out to like eat in public areas, then you should be good to go, honestly. If we put up with the mask for about how much already, like 5 months, I don't think another 5 months would hurt, honestly. You know, for those who complain about the mask, just think about surgeons and doctors who wear masks on a daily basis pre-COVID. You know, they work on patients and stuff like that. So at the end of the day, we are hoping for this to go away. It affects different areas, but more than anything, it's going to continue to stay. And the best, you know, advice I could give you all would just be, you know, continue wearing your mask, hand sanitize, wash your hands, and, you know, just stay indoors as much as possible. You know, if you have to go to work, then just go to work and just come back. Don't go anywhere else. You know, go to work and come back home. That's about it.
And if you aren't wearing your mask, it's not about you getting sick. It's about you getting other people sick. So stop being selfish and put a fucking mask on.
Yeah, Nick. No, just kidding.
What? I wear a mask all the time. I will say though, back again to consoles. Didn't last time Nintendo wait till like PlayStation and Xbox released their thing, and then the year after is when they released their change? It wasn't all at the same time.
You are correct. You are very correct. I know Nintendo has a tendency of doing that, but it's also known that Nintendo does give the cheapest price. I will say that. So it is going to be something to watch, that now that Sony and Microsoft are hitting that $299 mark, $399 mark. I mean, again, I don't know what Sony's planning on doing. I don't know if they're going to go the same price.
$700,
bro. If they go $700, yeah, well, but
what if they're offering you your own mech? A little mini mech. You can play games on. $700 worth?
No, Nintendo's already doing that, bro. They have their RC cars.
Yeah, Nintendo's already doing that. Yeah. But it is going to be something to watch for Nintendo. Are they going to match the price of an even go even cheaper? Or are they going to release another handheld device instead of an actual console? I mean, people can argue that the Switch is more of a handheld device than an actual console, but it's something new, you know? Not Microsoft or Sony have done that. This is a legit, it's a console-powered handheld device. So it's either Nintendo's going to release another handheld device or an actual console like a Wii or another Switch or something like that. Oops. Well, we'll see.
Well, historically, Nintendo always released their consoles like a year or 2 years. No, like roughly a year before like PlayStation Sony and Microsoft released theirs, and then when they released their Sony and Microsoft released theirs, then they do like an updated version. Like we have the Wii, that got released way earlier than the Xbox and the PlayStation, and then they released their shit, and then halfway through their campaign, they're like, oh wait, here's the Wii U, and that was a handheld device as well. Xbox never really did any handheld. PlayStation, they had PlayStation, the PSP Vita. Well, they had the PSP, and then they did the Vita and stuff like that. And then they strafed away from handheld stuff. So, and then obviously the Nintendo has the Switch, which is a really the compatibility, or how do you call it? The little compactability. Yeah, compactability is really good. You could take it anywhere you want.
Very convenient.
It's very convenient too. Yeah.
Yes.
And then they made a smaller version of the Switch, which is like the Switch Mini or something. I don't know.
Not Switch Mini. I think it's just the Switch 2D. I don't know, but they made another one, a Switch Lite.
Oh yeah, Switch Lite. And basically, it's just the Joy-Con stick on the Switch.
I don't know, but I mean, it is something keen to see. You know, quarantine did affect gaming in a pretty, both ways, negative and positive. Positive for us, fanboys of games, especially your boy, the console player here.
Boo.
But it's something. It's a topic that we're gonna have to revisit down the line once we get more concrete information. But for now, it's just a wait and see game and see what else is impacted on the gaming scene. But for sure, I am excited for the future of Microsoft and Sony, and down the line of Nintendo. But for now, we're going to stray away from the gaming and from the quarantine into a new topic that has been, hitting the States in a newsworthy food aspect.
Yeah, so the last topic is my topic, and I know that the COVID stuff is it gets depressing, dreary, and it takes a toll on you, right? So I decided to do a lighter topic, and what do you guys think about the new spicy chicken McNuggets from McDonald's? That's all the rave.
I am not too keen on them, honestly. I feel like it's gonna be the spicy chicken sandwich, but in nugget form.
Yeah. Okay. So I don't know if anyone here has actually tried it, but Stevie, another member of SavePoint, has tried it, and he just said that they tasted like the spicy chicken or sandwich or whatever.
Spicy chicken sandwich, yeah.
Yeah. The hot and spicy check.
Yeah, there you go, hot and spicy. That's what it's called. Damn, I was thinking on Chick-fil-A because I'm already hungry, but yeah, spicy. The spicy chicken. The
hot and spicy.
Hot and spicy. There you go.
Yeah.
That's what I honestly think it is. Now, if it is like that, then that's kind of a game changer. People complain about eating burgers because of the bread and too much carbs. Now you get it in chicken nugget form, and especially for those avid, spicy chicken sandwich. I mean, what's it called again? Dang, hot and spicy. The hot and spicy fans out there, now they could get it in nugget form. I could just picture this. People get 2 hot and spicies and then plus a 10-piece of spicy nuggets. It's just like they're eating, hot and spicies all day long. So, but I mean, I haven't tried it personally. I like the nuggets from them. I mean, they're not my favorite nuggets per se. But Nick, what do you think?
But hear me out though. Hot and spicy is like $1. Actually, I don't know how much it is right now. It's either $1.29 or $1.60 now, right? And if that by itself, if you take out the patty, if you take out the bread,
I already know where you're going.
You cut it up, and you got yourself spicy chicken nuggets, right? So you buy 2 of them for like $2 or $3. The nuggets are gonna cost you like $5, okay? You get the barbecue sauce, you dip it. Boy, I've been living the spicy chicken nugget life since forever, bro. I don't know what you guys are really getting here. I'm like,
man, Nick,
you're the type of person that goes to a restaurant, orders waters, and then makes your own lemonade there, Wayne. You don't even pay for that.
That was freaking... I remember freaking Dago actually doing that at Taco Bell. Great.
Bro, we've been living in 2020. Nick's already in 2035, bro. Like, he's already been like, I've been doing this since the hot and spicy came out. I've been like 3 steps ahead. But I mean, you do make a strong point though. The hot and spicy is only $1.29. If these nuggets legit taste like hot and spicy sandwiches, then why get the hot and spicy nuggets if you could just get I'm calling them hot and spicy nuggets because it's literally gonna be like that. But why get those nuggets if you could just get a hot and spicy, like literally 3 hot and spicies, and for the price of what?
Yeah, at the very least, hot and spicy nuggets won't have mayo on it.
That's the only thing.
You're right. But some people like the mayo, so I don't know. They're gonna.
Mayo's good, but have you the mayo that they put in McDonald's? They put the whole fucking jar on it.
I've gotten lucky from the McDonald's that is near the apartments here, and I haven't gotten a ton of mayo on the hot and spicy I've gotten thus far. So I've been lucky. But I've seen those memes on Twitter where someone orders a hot and spicy, and they're like, "Bro, I didn't order a mayo sandwich," and you can literally not see the chicken there.
Yeah,
but. If Nick's living the future right now, so if he makes a strong point there, I haven't tried it. None of us have tried it here in the podcast right now, except Stevie. So we'll just have to see and taste.
Maybe next week update. We could all try it.
Update on McNuggies.
Yeah. But real quick, before we continue, what do you guys think about Travis Scott having his own meal in McDonald's? For those of you that don't know, Travis Scott and McDonald's had some type of brand deal, and now Travis Scott has his own burger at McDonald's. That's crazy to me.
Is it a burger or is it just a meal with burgers that already exist?
I think they just repurposed the burger and then call it the Travis Scott burger.
I think it's dumb AF. I saw the commercial. I don't know what the burger really is. It looks like it's basically what I heard is like a Big Mac with bacon. That's what I heard. The only major difference is, this is mind blowing. He doesn't use ketchup. He uses barbecue sauce to dip his fries in. Wow. Oh my God, such mind-blowing thought there. Just give this guy a Travis Scott meal. Now, if Travis Scott, which I doubt is listening to this podcast, I'm not ragging on you, bro. But damn, good for you, bro. You got
only fans.
Good for you. You got McDonald's to give you a meal under your name. Props to you, man. You're already banking as it is as an artist, and now McDonald's is gullible enough to give you a Travis Scott meal that literally is what you eat at McDonald's, but now everyone can have it at the same time. So
okay, this is directed to our fans, aka Travis Scott.
I want
hit us up with that brand deal, please.
What do you think, Nick?
I think it's weird. Honestly, I do like to eat my fries with barbecue. But I would never go and buy a meal like that. You just heard me talk about what I get. I get hot and spicy. A meal itself is $7, $8, or a little bit more depending what you're getting. I go live in the hot and spicy or McGangbang life, So I'm not gonna go and order a meal that they just changed the name of some other things and added a few other things. I'm still over here just trying can I have the barbecue sauce? And please don't charge me. Because you're can I have barbecue sauce? That's gonna cost you 20 cents more. Come on. But
okay, Dago.
but I'm not really. I wouldn't really order it. I like Big Mac, but at the same time, to me, it's more I usually don't buy it just because it's so expensive and now it's so tiny. So it doesn't feel like it's usually filling anymore, unless you get the fries and the fries fill you up. But I don't think it's a good deal for people.
Yeah, I feel like the McGangbang is way better than it's more filling than the Big Mac. And if you guys don't know what the McGangbang is, it's just you get a quarter pounder and then get some hot and spicy and then put it in between it.
I think the fans will really want to see how that is work. Maybe you should do that on your stream.
Yeah, a mukbang.
A mukbang. But if people were I want bacon on this, they don't have to get that extra charge now. Like how Nick said, you don't have to get that extra charge for the barbecue sauce. Now, if they legit said I'm ordering the Travis Scott meal and they have to get a Sprite, then that's some cheese. But I really doubt it.
Yeah.
But I personally will not get the Travis Scott meal because I always either get the bundle meal, which is $3 for some nuggets and fries. But I really don't need a McDonald's anyway.
Yeah, for being like a multi-billion-dollar company, they're so fucking codos, dude. Like they charge you can't like they care about the refills, so then they don't allow people to get refills anymore. You have to ask them for refills. They're taking all that shit away. They charge you extra for more like for the sauces, and then anything added to like they're fucking stingy as fuck, dude. I guess that's how they got their money.
I was gonna say
from being stingy.
I mean, if you think about it, the cost compared to like other restaurants is very low, right? That's also why people go to McDonald's. If you compare McDonald's to Whataburger, which one has a cheaper burger? McDonald's does 100%.
I mean, let's continue comparing. Out of all the restaurants, who has the best chicken McNuggets? Or chicken McNuggets. That's obviously who has the best nuggets from all the restaurants.
Hot nuggets? Or just nuggets?
No, just regular nuggies.
Just your favorite nuggets in general, whether it be spicy, non-spicy, or grilled
spicy
from Chick-fil-A.
Okay.
But from where though?
Wendy's spicy chicken nuggets.
Oh, Wendy's spicy chicken nuggets.
Nobody can get on that level.
Mine's a tough decision because obviously as a kid I was just prone to nothing but McDonald's nuggets. Like that was it, McDonald's nuggets. But then I started, testing, Wendy's nuggets, Chick-fil-A nuggets. I mean, Jack in the Box used to have nuggets. They're more known for their strips, and Burger King had those $1 nuggets at some point, but they're more.
No, still have them now.
Oh, they still have them. Oh, great, but they're not really
like
$1.50.
I mean,
yeah, but I mean, their chicken fries are better, but those are not really considered chicken nuggets. I'm gonna go with Chick-fil-A nuggets. Honestly, I'll go with them. They have their they have not made a spicy nuggets yet though. They're like the last ones to not have spicy nuggets. So they're the next one up, and let's see if they deliver some spicy nuggets.
So I'm in the same boat as Nick. My favorite nuggets are Wendy's spicy chicken nuggets. That stuff is some good shit. But like at the same time, whenever I see the Burger King commercials for the nuggets for $1.50 for 10 nuggets and spicy or regular, I'm like, oh shit, that sounds really good. So that turns me on, and I go, okay. No, not like physically. Like I'm just like, okay, that like it gets me. Like I'm excited to go get them, and then when you go get them, they taste like ass. So I'm just like, fuck, bro. Like the price is enticing. But then you actually have them and they taste like shit. Same thing as the Jack in the Box. Like Jack in the Box when they had nuggets, that shit was trash, bro.
I never tried the nuggets from Jack in the Box. Their tenders though, they slap in the booty cheeks. Those tenders are pretty good.
Yeah.
Maybe they're friends with Burger King.
I was gonna say Whataburger also doesn't have nuggets, and I wouldn't mind trying those.
Well, they
do actually.
They do. They call the bites. I mean, they're more like chicken strips, but in bite form. So I don't really consider them nuggets, honestly. They taste honestly the same as a strip, so I don't count them as chicken nuggets, honestly. Excuse me.
Okay.
I will say though that also like Wendy's has a spicy like they have the spicy chicken nuggets, but then they also have like a barbecue sauce that has a little kick too. So like it makes it even better. At least I think their barbecue sauce.
Yeah, that's true.
Is like very distinct compared to everybody else's barbecue sauce.
It has like an extra tang to it. It's so tangy.
I mean, I wouldn't know because I don't use any sort of condiments on anything that I eat. I think I'm the only one that eats dry nuggets and dry sandwiches. One thing I will say though about the spicy nuggets from Wendy's, their spicy nuggets do not taste the same as their spicy chicken. Because I love Wendy's spicy chicken sandwich, and you can have they taste completely different. Their spicy chicken tastes so much more different than their spicy nuggets. So I know McDonald's came with their spicy nuggets, and people are saying it tastes like hot and spicy. With Wendy's spicy chicken nuggets, they legit does not taste the same as their spicy chicken. That's a big dub from Wendy's right there.
All right. So everyone loves Wendy's, and we're now sponsored by Wendy's.
Okay, that's great.
That?
Please send me spicy chicken, please. I love your spicy chicken sandwich with some cheese and no tomato, please.
Yeah, fuck McDonald's. That's all about Wendy's. Unless McDonald's is hearing, fuck Wendy's. It's all about McDonald's.
Great. What if Burger King is hearing?
That's great.
Yeah, fuck them.
I mean, for Burger King, they're getting free advertisement because they do donations on Twitch. But again, that's a different topic for another day if they continue doing that. There's a lot of topics to discuss in the future.
Burger King lost my respect after they did the real burger or the whatever.
The real burger thing.
Yeah, they lost my respect.
They yoinkied you. They yoinkied your sanity.
Yeah, fuck them.
But hopefully, we don't get on Twitter and then like Wendy's is over here talking smack, like they always do.
You're gonna. Well, how do you say it? They're gonna rippies our career.
They're gonna rip a new one, all right. They're gonna try to rip a new one on us. So rippies for us, but I do know they have a spicy Twitter over there. So if they plan on sending us a tweet, more clout for us, basically, because we're kind of small at the moment. But hey, Wendy's, if you wanna throw hands, I mean, we're for it.
You heard it here first. Wendy's gonna sponsor. We're gonna sponsor our own Jose Rios, and they're gonna sponsor Moneybags. What's his name? Fuck, the one that retired. Damn it. The one that retired, like he's like the best boxer of all time. Floyd Mayweather. Yeah, they're gonna play. Would you fight him?
No, bro. Like, okay, if you told me to get in the ring for $1 million against Floyd, I'll do it. I'm gonna get knocked out, but I'll do it. It's $1 million. Bro.
Okay, what if it's $1 million, but he doesn't hold back? Like when he sees like his like top contender, and he's at his prime.
I wouldn't expect him to hold back, bro. If he doesn't, I mean,
he's bubble.
I don't know what. I wouldn't expect him to hold back, especially for $1 million. I wouldn't expect him to hold back.
Okay.
So I'm waiting for those lethal punches. If we're divulging into random topics that we're not discussing today.
Okay. Well, does anyone else want to add anything? Well, with that being said, I feel like this is a good note to end the podcast. If you want to leave your favorite chicken nuggets from any restaurant, make sure to leave it in the comments below. Or if you want to talk about football, which team's going to make it to the Super Bowl? We don't know. Well, I do know it's going to be the Seahawks.
Trash.
Chiefs, even though I go for Cowboys.
But yeah, if you let's start a conversation down in the comments. And if you want to see us live, make sure to tune in at twitch.tv/SavePoint_TV. So we stream Wednesday through Sundays. Yeah, Wednesday through Sundays at 8 p.m. Central.
Like, follow, subscribe, whatever depending on you're doing in your platform.
Yeah.
And just know, the what it do, baby, is always lurking.
With that note, we'll check you guys out at the next save point.
Yeah.
Laters.